today. So the raindrop kit for us has been pretty neat. That was my first experience with Young Living. I was snowed in at a bed and breakfast. Like, legitimately, we were snowed in. We had a car. We couldn't get out. And the lady there was like, let me rub these oils on your back. It won't be weird, I promise. And I was like, yes. Okay. She's like, I'll do it for free. So the whole thing was super strange. But I'm like, yep, let's do that. And that happened to me 3 years before I enrolled with Young Living, because all I knew is that I smelled like a pizza and it was weird. Okay. But I did know that I felt different. There was less discomfort. I had a lot of things that I thought that week that were pretty cool from it, but I didn't really understand what happened. So fast forward 3 years later, I'm like researching, because y'all know, like, Google. Raise your hand if Google is where you get most of your information. Y'all don't act like you're all smart and you read books all the time. You also Google. So I found myself in a place where I was like Googling and trying to learn more about essential oils. And I came across Young Living. I knew that that was a brand that I wanted to be part of, with over 20 years of industry experience, the seed to seal guarantee. I just was so excited. And I knew no one that used Young Living. I posted on Facebook, we can laugh about this, who sells Young Living essential oils? Isn't that good? Nobody tagged their friends. No one knew. And I'm like, well, let me go back to Google and look for moms that have little kids that use oils. So then Tracy has an amazing blog, Don't Mess with Mama. And what was so cool is I friended her on Facebook, and she had like a really cool profile picture. She was like on the beach with a cool hat and sunglasses, and I was like, I want to be friends with her. It'll be really cool to do that. Y'all can all laugh, but my whole point, the reason I'm starting with this, is I want you to think about how you got introduced, and the longer time we are away from that, a lot of times we forget the initial experiences, and they really do matter, and they really do make a difference. So every single time you put a drop of oil in someone's hand, it does not matter if they don't get started using them for years. You did something to help their health, and you did something that's for them. So I'm saying that to you guys because some of y'all are like new to this oil thing and you don't really understand what's going on, but just use them and know that that experience will be something they remember forever. I remember using Valor was the first oil I used for my kit. I used a drop of it on my back. I was amazed by it, and I just, I haven't stopped using it since then. So just a cool thing to think about with the raindrop kit, that connection. And with the feelings kit right now, we're actually doing the raindrop technique with the feelings kit. Some of you are like, what did she just say? Yes, we're doing the raindrop technique with the feelings kit with my 5-year-old. And the difference since May 17th has been amazing with him. So we do that, and we go through a whole feelings kit in a month. So you might need I think we only have 10 or something. So you might need all of them for a year, but that's okay. So you use that, and we've just really experienced a huge difference in his emotions and emotional stability and control of a lot of behaviors. So it's been really, really neat to look at the emotional impact. So just wanted to talk about those because I want to make sure y'all also understand when we have products here, just like every Young Living product, they're for a purpose, but they're also specifically for us. Like that stuff out there, it's not everything. It's specifically stuff for us that our community is able to enjoy and use right now. So I'm going to talk about freedom, and I'm going to do really well with staying on my notes that I have 4 of on here. It's fine. It takes all kinds, right? And I first want to talk to y'all about an image that when I Google freedom, this is the image that comes up. The first 5 pictures that come up when you Google freedom are something flying from a cage, someone on the beach that looks super carefree, a weird picture with handcuffs that are broken and his hands are in the sky, someone with a very heavy backpack overlooking a very tall cliff. And then that one's my favorite. She's by herself on the pier above the sun. And y'all cannot think they're funny, but I want you to realize something. In our culture, we're taught that freedom is breaking free and running away from something. We're not taught that it's embracing something or running towards it. These pictures are of people's backs, of birds flying out of something, and of handcuffs being broken, but still actually one's on. And I don't know about you guys, but I find that really powerful when you think about maybe exploring that word, and also the concept that words matter. The words we say and the images we look at, they then come in and they really, really change our behaviors, opinions, and what actually we put out into the world. And when we say things out of our mouths, right, It means they come from our hearts, and it's what we believe. So just want to dig in a little bit, talk about freedom, and talk about redefining what that could mean. The other day on the 4th of July, I was running a fun run with my kid, and I was Facebook Living it if you want to go watch. I'm sure it's the best 12 minutes of your life. And I just started being like, freedom doesn't walk, it runs. And I kept saying that, and I was like laughing. But I want you all to think about something. We talk about finding this lifestyle where we wake up in the morning and we live it by design and not by default. And I really want you to think about it. We have to run into it. And it might look like a cage sometimes, and sometimes we might feel like it's handcuffs. Sometimes we might be about to go over the edge of a cliff, but we are literally pressing into the uncomfortable when we pursue freedom. And we are not walking, we aren't hanging out, taking a selfie at every point. There's a time to relax, right? But we're not doing that every day because it's something that we're running towards. So really think about the words you say out of your mouth when it comes to how you're looking at your life. So just a simple, practical change that I work on every day that I think makes me feel free is saying, I get to. I get to wake up at 5 a.m. to go run with my friend. I get to. I get to go set up for this event at 8 a.m. I mean, that sounds silly, but I want you all to think about this better now. I get to read to my kids when they go to bed at night because I didn't, right? What did I not have to do? I didn't have to travel away for a job I didn't like. I didn't have to do the dishes for 8 hours that night. Not 8 hours really, but 8 hours because I have to be at work early in the morning. I didn't have to do that by myself because I'm not in a loving marriage where someone else could have done it. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? You get to do things. So I want you to think about something today that was hard. I mean, a bunch of y'all probably like argued with your family and were like closing your kids in their rooms and running out. I don't know what y'all did before you came here, but you probably did something that you're like, this sucks, it's awful, my life is so hard sometimes. I bet for all these other freedom people going to this event, it's so easy. No, it's not. It's not. So think about that phrase, I get to. And the next time something's hard, I guarantee you if you say, I get to, maybe this is not your life, when my kids are like, Mommy, wipe me. I'm like, why? Why? Why are you screaming so loud from the bathroom? Mommy, wipe me. And I'm like, I get to wipe your butt because I work from home. And I like, when you say that, it's funny. Think about it. When you say it, it then makes you laugh and you're like, that's ridiculous that I was complaining that my tiny child needs help still. Okay. Hopefully that'll help some of y'all. Some of y'all are like, great, this is gonna be awesome when I get home, and you're gonna have like, raise your hand if you have someone at your house right now watching someone, a dog or a kid. Raise your hand. Yeah, keep your hand raised if that creates something difficult in your life. Right, so when you walk in your door, I want you to be like, I get to be with my family right now. I get to do it and just enjoy it and enjoy the chaos. So we're gonna go through today and talk about 3 keys to being a freedom seeker. And I just think freedom seeker sounds really cool, and I want to be that, but more so than anything, I want to lead others to that. So when I use that hashtag freedom lifestyle, some of y'all are probably like, you look at that and you're like, I don't know what that means. For me, that means pursuing freedom and bringing others along with me. So that first key is defining freedom. Defining what it is you're talking about and what does it look like for you? What does it look like? I want you to pause right now and I want you to think about what would happen if on Monday, let's say a Monday, you were able to decide exactly what it is that you want to do and get to do. What does it look like? If you don't paint a picture of that with the end goal in mind, you will never ever reach that goal. That's because if we all aim at nothing, we're surely gonna get it, right? You aim to do nothing. I love it. People are like, I wanna do nothing on Sunday. Nothing. And guess what you get? Nothing, because joy, peace, fun, those actually don't come from nothing. They are intentional things that we choose to do. So when you define freedom, I guarantee a lot of y'all are thinking it's nothing, and it's not. It's something different. It's you maybe being able to, maybe you want to be able to cook dinner. And that might sound simple, but maybe you legitimately are like, I need 2 hours to like prep and cook and clean up and like enjoy it. Maybe for some of y'all, you've been trying to work out for 6 years, and you're like, if I literally could design my Monday, I would go to the gym, I'd go up in the sauna, I'd go to the pool after by myself, like whatever it is. But you have to think about what makes you free is not being obligated to things that you feel are weights and dragging you down and are heavy. Define it for yourself. And that's gonna look different. Don't Google, what is freedom? What is freedom? It means not being bound to anything. But your bondage might be very different than my bondage. Your bondage might be negative thoughts. Your bondage might be an addiction. Your bondage might be the inability to make a decision. Your bondage might be that you put your kids as your priority and you left out God and your spouse. Or maybe you're in here and you hate your job so much that you now have dishonored your job and you think jobs are bad. That's total bondage, right? If you're like, my job sucks, I want to do Young Living because it's better. Well, guess what? You're going to go start doing Young Living and you're going to realize it's you that might have been the thing holding it back. Right? I mean, I want y'all to think about it. What we do with the little, it's just magnified when we get more. So when we talk about freedom and you think about it with financial freedom, you can have financial freedom and make $5,000 a year. Y'all are like, yeah, sure, Ashley, sure you can. You can. Because when we live free in our finances and we define that in our head, some of y'all, it might be owning 3 houses with no mortgage. Some of y'all, it might be, I want to rent an apartment and travel as much as possible because I don't want to take care of anything. That makes me feel free. So y'all think about it and really define it in your head so that when someone asks you what this means, this whole like freedom lifestyle and freedom theme, you're like, to me, this is what it means. To me, this is what it means to drop bondage that I don't need to hold anymore. The next one is win your way into the lifestyle. I like to win. I'm an Enneagram type 3. I'm a red on a good day blue, just depends. And for me, I really like to win. I don't like to win at things that don't matter. If someone's like, let's play goldfish, I'm not like, it's on. Like, let's go right now. I need to win that. But when it's things in my life that I know I'm making incremental progress towards, I love to win. I love to focus on the little wins, and it makes me a lot happier because I have lots of little fails. I have a lot of little fails. Like I had a wardrobe fail today, but I went with the win of I added just something to it. And I was like, I'm winning now because I don't like to get tied down with little things that trip me up. And in our business, those little things can be, I taught a class and 18 people came, but no one enrolled. That's great. There are so many more people than 18 in the world. Here's a good one. I Facebook messaged everyone I know. I Facebook messaged every single person I know, and I invited them to this freedom event, and no one responded. Well, friend, how many times do you not respond to messages people send you about an event that you might not want to go to? So instead of focusing on those things, praise yourself and love yourself well with every win you have. Your win for today with Young Living is you're here. You chose to be here. Don't worry about anybody else who's not here. You are not them. But this win for you, you can celebrate. And if you focus on what it is that you say about the goal and what it is that you say about people involved in the goal, you will find more reasons to celebrate. I know for me, I've been transitioning into this more and more with my business. I want to define my goals for the month, not based on just growth of OGV or growth of new members. I'm like, what's my culture like? Like, what are we like? Like, am I getting 95 messages of people that are complaining? Because if I am, we as leaders are the lid on our organization. Let me give some credit to John Maxwell. That's not my quote. Please don't say that. But that concept means that as you grow, you'll be like, man, it's amazing. I mean, I'll be real with y'all. I am sure I used to get lots of complaints. And I just said last night to both of our awesome guys from corporate, I'm like, yeah, I never get people complaining about stuff and have to bring it to corporate. Well, guys, that is a conscious decision that guess what I personally choose not to do? Complain. Because guess what it does? It creates fun things in my brain that remind me all the time that it's bad, it's unsafe, it's fear, and I need to stop. Right? So push forward and define your wins in a way where you're like, you know what? If I want to have a make and take next month, and it's going to be so cool. We're going to have 3 summer products, and it's going to be a blast. I'm going to have 5 people there. Okay, well, if that's your goal, awesome. After you do it, guess what you say? Great, let's move on, let's do something different. Maybe if you want to enroll 2 people next month, what you don't do is meet with 2 people and say those 2 people didn't enroll. You meet with 20 people. And then that way you're like, man, Lisa and Sally are on board. They're so excited to move forward, and I can't wait. And celebrate yourself. With your kids, I have a kid that doesn't like to write. And I'm like, let's write 4 sentences. That's what I used to say to him. Now I'm like, let's write an A, baby. Like, write the first letter of your name and we will move forward to the rest. And for me, I need to do that. And I think some of you guys do too, because let's say it again, you drop down this bondage of a schedule. Because some of y'all in here are like, I work from home. I got all day long. I am so free. No, you're not. Every day, all day, you're thinking, okay, how am I gonna get my kid to write those 4 sentences? How am I gonna enroll 2 people today? How am I gonna get dinner made? How am I gonna get my house clean? Well, great, I am there too. I have to consciously tell myself, all right, Ashley, there's laundry that's clean, it's not put away. Check. It's clean, right? My friend Sandy in the front row right here was like, everyone's alive. And I'm like, everyone's alive. Like, sometimes I'm like, right? Sometimes I'm like, I don't need everybody to be alive. I need them all to be amazing. I need everybody to rank up. I need to save the world. And we're running out of time today. So if you're that person, don't you dare think I'm standing up here saying this isn't me. I am the person that wants to like literally do all the things every single day of my life. And I have to purposely pause and say, I don't want bondage. I want to walk in freedom. And I don't want ever for me to go to bed at the end of the day with a list in my head. I want to go to bed and be like, here is how I live today. And here's who I helped live today. And here's who I'm going to help live tomorrow. Because I'm not tied down to tasks, right? You don't need to be either. And the third thing is, when I wrote this down, I'm like, man, this sounds like something that I think about a year and a half ago. If someone had said this to me, I would have been like, oh, it's so soft and sweet. Surround yourself with encouragers. Surround yourself not with people who say, good job, all the time. Or here's a great one. A lot of us surround ourselves with people that we think are encouraging, and actually what they do to us is they say nothing. You're like, hey, I'm starting a Young Living business. And they're like, it's cool. That's not an encourager. Hey, guess what this weekend? I'm so excited. I'm going to an event. I'm going to hear some great speakers. I'm going to hang out. There'll be a food truck. Do you want to go? And they're like, yeah, no, it's not really for me. Why are you doing that? Why don't you come and meet me later on? I don't even know what people do. We're going to go to the beach. But the whole thing is, it's not that they're doing anything bad, but what we create in our lives is this barrier. We're like, no one ever speaks into us. No one ever speaks life to us. And no one ever says to us like, hey, tell me about what this event is and why you want to go. I mean, I will tell y'all, speaking specifically about this event, I have people in this room that are not here. I don't know if they could have been here. I didn't ask that. But absolutely, this morning, hey, here's what I prayed for you for today. Like, hey, here's how I think the event's going to go today. Hey, will you send me a picture of how that looks? That's encouragement. And I want that for all of us, but I'll also tell you that for me, I'm like, oh, that's so different than the world around us. The definition of being an encourager tends to be being a yes man. Yes, let's do that. Yes, you're fun. Let's all go. Yes, but not taking action. So encouraging someone is an action. It means truly looking at them. And if your friend that is starting their own business, being an entrepreneur, maybe they're going back to school, think about how you can be part of that with them. Think about how you can be like, this is awesome. Like, what's your degree going to be in? Oh, it's in math? Hey, yeah, I really hate math, but can you tell me, like, what did you learn last week? Right? And then you can say, well, I think that you can get an A in that class. Like, let's think about how maybe we can spend less time. I don't play video games. I am giving the worst examples because I'm not fun. I don't have a lot of fun things in my life apparently because I'm like video games, TV, sporting. I don't know what those things are. But just think about it. And a lot of times, remember that we deceive ourselves by things that we say, and we literally need someone else to process back to us what we're saying. Because guess where most of our words are that we say every day? Where are they? They're in our head. No one even knows it until we say it out loud, and then you're like, that is so ridiculous. So you need someone else to surround you to say, hey, I want to tell you, you're awesome, and what you're doing is awesome, And by the way, like whatever that bad negative tape is in your head, like let's work through it together and let me help you get to that goal. That does not mean they spend $2,000 next month in your Young Living business. It's not an encourager, guys. It means they walk it out with you. So if you're gonna be free, guess what kind of people you have to surround yourself with? Encouragers. And you have to surround yourself with people that believe freedom is a value. If they really like where they are in life and their life is, they describe their life as kind of miserable, guess what? You probably need to surround yourself with people who truly believe that they're designed for more, they have a life that is made for more, they're seeking more, and they are every single day making a choice to move forward. So find those people. They might be in this room. You might eat a taco with them later, or a waffle burger, or whatever you eat later. You might find them there. I want to read to you a verse from Galatians. Galatians 5:13. This is from the Message. It is absolutely clear that God has called you to a free life. Just to make sure you don't use this freedom as an excuse to do whatever you want to do and destroy your freedom. Rather, use your freedom to serve one another in love. That's how freedom grows. I'm just reading out a couple things. I know for me, I sometimes just need a little confirmation that things are hard, but they're for a purpose. A lot of y'all probably know this verse, John 8:32, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Well, let's think about why. If you know the true view of how God looks at you and how you should be looking at the world, you will never want to pick up those bad, nasty habits. You will never want to pick up those negative thoughts. You will not even want to be friends with someone that does not encourage you, because guess what you will say? I'm going to encourage them. I want you to hear this. Here's another good one. Once you surround yourself with people that speak encouraging words into you, you will encourage yourself. Our world, a lot of times when we look at people like that, we're like, they're so confident. I could never be like them. Yes, you can. Speak truth from your mouth and don't allow yourself to be weighed down by that. I love how I'm walking constantly around this. I'm sorry, guys. And the third one is, I love history. So John Adams, I used to be a government teacher, if anybody cares to know about that. And no, I did not dress like this. You will never know how much it has cost my generation to preserve your freedom. I hope that you make good use of it. The hard work you do, maybe with that feelings kit out there, maybe with your diet, maybe with your thoughts. If you've never realized it, your cells have a memory that they store up. We talk about it all the time with what we do. But it literally impacts emotionally and physically future generations to come. So even if you're not fighting in a war, what you are doing is battling for your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, the kids you're raising at home every day. It's a responsibility to truly learn to live free, and not just in your health, guys. Because a lot of us, we can so easily say, I'm drinking Ninja, I'm taking supplements, like maybe I'm working out. But every single day, you're allowing yourself to dwell in that place in your head where you're like, I don't like my life, maybe. Or maybe it's a little bit more subtle where you're like, this isn't for you. That little single moment where you start to dream, some of y'all picture in this freedom lifestyle concept what it looks like, and you in your head right now are thinking, this is not for me. It is for you. It's for you. It's for your neighbor. It's for the person on the other side of you. It's for that person that you don't really like. It's for that person. Wait, I feel like I missed what just happened. Oh, good. That makes me feel better. I was like, wait, are they all like you? We don't really like her. That's what happens. I mean, how many of y'all, that's what happens in our head. Do y'all hear what happened? I just literally said out loud what happened to me. Where I'm like, hey, wait, what happened? Because here's the deal. My mind is not in control a lot of times. Because I have to take those thoughts captive, make them obedient, and I don't know, if Jesus is not your jam, I would love to talk to you about that, but I really am not offended by that at all. We are open to every single person here. I just know for me that every single day, what I do, I have to keep myself in check with who I'm pleasing, who I'm working. Really, I don't want to say for, but that's how I view my life, guys. And that's what makes me feel free. Because I know I don't work for Young Living. I don't work for Tracy. I don't work for my husband. I work to please God. And if you are able to wrap your head around that, you'll realize that a lot of the stuff you do doesn't even make sense. So I just want to encourage you today, be a freedom seeker, and the 3 steps that you're going to take are defining freedom, winning your way into the lifestyle, and surrounding yourself every single day with encouragers.